So today I'm going to be restoring sash and case windows. Now, each window has slightly different problems, and one of the main concerns the customer told me about was this, a rattle. Now, with that rattle, the window's obviously loose. With that rattle, with that looseness, comes in drafts. These rooms get really cold. The weights themselves seem to be fine, but if you have a look at this draft proofing here, I mean, that's not blocking any draft at all. So with this window here, it's really just needing draft proofer and new weights. Basically, what it means is if the window goes down on its own, the window's too heavy for the weights, which means there needs to be another weight on the end, because the way a sash and case window works is there's a pocket right here and there's a lead weight on the inside, lead weight on this side. So on the other end of this rope is a lead weight, and it counterbalances. It needs to be the same weight as the window, so that's too heavy. So for this one, it's draft proofing and putting new weights on these ropes here. So draft proofing, new rope, and paint for this. We're going to call this the bedroom window. Now if we go into the next one, so this is the bathroom window here. Now the main problem with this bathroom window here is, I'll just have to be very careful here. So when I take this bracket off here, the window drops on its own. Now, like in the last window in the bedroom, it's the same problem. This window's too heavy for the weight, so when we take this apart, we need to add more weights to this top window here. This window here seems fine, just a wee bit stiff, which we'll just sort that out when we get here. So same thing, bit of draft proofing, reweighting. All the windows are getting painted as well, so these will look a lot fresher as well when it's done. Now if we go into the main hallway, so this window here wasn't going up properly whenever it would go all the way up, so very stiff, but then there'd be a gap right there. So I thought maybe the weights are hitting the bottom of the run, or maybe the weights just need to be a little bit heavier, till this morning had a look at it. I found this. There's nothing to hold on to, hence the gap on the right side. And really bad rattle, really bad draft. So hallway is gonna need just the rope fixed, draft proofer. So this is basically how it works. Lead weight in the pocket. It's attached to this weight. Counterbalances. Same with these, so got a weight here for this window, weight here for this window, so on. Now, one of the things that confused me a bit when looking at this was this, my work area. The customer told me that the last people tried to do some restoration work on it, and for some strange reason, they've put this draft proofing staff bead on this, and on this one, nothing. So they only put draft proofer on one side. Now, whenever you're restoring windows, there has to be symmetry. You have to have draft proofing on both sides. Both the weights in each window have to be the same. you know, there can't be any, they have to be the same weight. It has to be symmetrical. So we're just gonna restore these. Some putties out here, some putties loose here. So just gonna restore these, and not only we're gonna make them look the best we can, but also we're gonna have them functioning as well, like how they're supposed to. Now, we'll fix this one now. Now, as you can see, there's no rowel on this window at all. Try and get that focused. We have draft proofer going all along here. We have draft proofer down here. Now, if I take this beading down, so at the top of this window here, we've got 2 layers of it. What that does is it stops any draft coming from the top. So we have the top covered, we have the sides covered, all here, we have the side here covered. Now I'll show you this little trick. There's a draft proof going along here, and there's this draft proof in here at the top. And basically, when that window closes, it interlocks with itself. So it's completely, this window is now completely airtight. No rattle on it at all now. When it closes, no rattle at all. So, job well done. We just need to get this one painted outside and inside. But that's it functioning fine. So the one that we're going to be doing is the bathroom. Let's take this one out really quick. So I've took this one out. I've got these weights out here. They're just tied off at the end. As you can see, these are the original weights. The ones in that window there, they were probably restored by the last customers the last resident, sorry. As the customer told me, they did some work on some of the windows, so that had some modern weights put in. These ones, you can tell, haven't been touched in a long time because we've even got the Roman numerals. So yeah, I've took them weights out because this was the window that was going down on its own. So some more weights are going to be added, the rope's going to be fed through, and weights are going to be reattached. These ones will probably need the same done, but not as much because that window wasn't going down too badly on its own, so it just needs a little extra. So just a matter of re-weighting it, touching the windows up, and then just putting it all back together. So we'll get this window back in. So, if you remember, one of the main problems with these windows that the customer was concerned about was rattling, letting in draft. No rattle. No rattle. No rattle. And the other problem was this window here would go up and down. Well, it would go down on its own because the window was way too heavy for the weights themselves. Now, I'm going to push it down just a little bit. Stays. A bit more. It stays. Push it up. It stays. There's draft proofer along the top of that window. Draft proofer on the sides. And I'll show, take the camera. I'll show here. this draft proofer just along here, so that when basically when this window shuts, nothing is getting through here. There's draft proofer down this side here, so nothing's getting through there. And as you can see, no rattle, completely solid. But yeah, after that, it's just giving it a paint, and that'll be it. And just giving it a little scrape here and a tidy up. So that's the bathroom done. So I'll probably move on to the bedroom now. So this is the bedroom window. Now, customer showed me this. This window, basically just this bottom window here, sorry. This here goes up and down on its own. See if I can give it a little lift. Yep, goes down completely on its own. That is what this bottle is here for. They use that to, basically if they want to let in a draft or let any air out. And look at this. That is quite a rattle. That's quite a rattle, quite a gap. And this second one here, quite a rattle. So in the wind, that just lets in so much wind. That just lets in so much air. It'll just make the bedroom very, very cold. Same as all the other rooms. So this window here, same thing. This is going to get weighted, then draft proofed, ready to go. So might as well take this one out now. So this is the window completely taken out now, pockets are out. These are the weights here, and they'll be getting more weight added to them. So bit of painting here, bit of restoring here. And yeah, ropes are in good condition, ropes are absolutely fine. So this is the first window that's been put in, and yeah, there's the draft proofer at the top to hide the gap there. And just a little thing here I wanted to show. One of the things I mentioned was about the window hitting the bottom of the run and causing the gap. This is the bottom of the weight here, and if I had hit the bottom of this channel, the window would have had nothing to basically hold on to. There would be no weight, there has to be tension. Same on this one here. That's the bottom of the weight there. There's always tension at the bottom. The weight can't hit the top and it can't hit the bottom. And you have a window that just goes up and down when you tell it to go up, when you tell it to go down. When you leave it, it stays. So this is just a little extra job that the customers asked me to deal with. So I've restored all the sash and case windows in this house, and this hatch here above the door, customer says they're not using it, and when it gets really drafty or even just a little bit of wind, that just lets in so much draft. Now the customers asked me, usually what I do is I can restore a sash and case window so there's no rattle in, so there's no draft coming through. This is one of them jobs where basically customer wants this completely sealed shut so it can't be reused again. In the past I've been hired to do that same thing with a sash and case window. That's not a job I like doing because you're just stopping a sash and case window from functioning the way it's supposed to. You're basically stopping Victorian engineering. Something that was designed to work a certain way, you're stopping it from happening. This is just a hatch, so the customer's not using it, it's not really got any use, so we're just gonna get this sealed up. So we'll give this a couple of knocks. Now, I think that's it cured, that's completely sealed up. So what I've done is took this window down, stuck draft proofer in the frame itself where the hatch and the frame meet, and then closed that off. It was pretty tight, but there was still some daylight showing down the sides, down this top bit, this bottom bit, down this top bit. So what I've done is sealed this back bit here, and there's no rattle anymore. So that means no more draft, no more cold air coming through the living room. So that's how you do it. So I almost forgot another job that the customer gave me. So I've sealed up the top hatch there. Now this door here, they basically told me that it lets in a bit of a draft. This is a very old house, so it was quite drafty, just due to the windows not having proper draft proofing, no brushes. It was all foam, which disintegrates over time, and so over time they just became very drafty. Don't know what's happened with the door. Maybe just over time it's kind of warped a bit, something's happened to it. But if I take the camera over here, you should be able to see there's a bit of daylight showing through this door. A lot of daylight from here to here. This bit here looks kind of tight, but from here along the top there, even this bit here as well, lets in quite a bit of daylight. So just the same what I've done with the upstairs, just a matter of putting a bit of draft proofer in. Obviously I'm not going to seal this one shut because customers are going to be using this every day. So we'll do the same with this. We'll get this proofed up now. That's it all sealed in. Obviously you can still open and close this. But if we check here where the door is, where we've seen that daylight, no daylight anymore. And that's just due to this. So when this door closes, it's completely draft proof. So that's the door done. So this is the finished product, same as all the other windows. Moving up and down fine. No stiffness, no rattling. All the windows have been completely draft proofed, completely airtight. No more windows dropping due to lack of weights, no more draft coming through. Customer was very happy with the finished product, and just a complete transformation, a complete restoration. So for the sash and case windows, it's a job well done. Just making it a little bit easier for the next people, whoever restores these windows. Trying to get that focused on the camera there. Show it over here. So I've put an R basically for the right side, so that basically sometimes when you're taking out these pockets, what will happen is you might get mixed up. They look very identical. One fits better than the other. So just to help the next people, one for the right side, one for the left side, also, so that next time someone can find this video and they know who restored it. The next time, maybe in 100 years time, maybe 10, we'll find out.